How's it going, guys? And welcome to RC Cincy. Today I'm really excited for this particular product. I've actually had something very similar. Initially, when I first came across it, was at a brick and mortar store. It was at Target or Walmart or Meijer, I can't remember, and I paid initially, I think, $30. I will check in the video to see if that's true, but I think it was around $29.99 if I remember correctly. And I was super ecstatic that it was RC, that, you know, it had quite a few cool features. So if you want to check that out, that's in a previous video. It's on the channel. Just look through, because I've released quite a few videos since then. But I think it's a good one, so I'd definitely have to check that out. So this particular product right here, I got off of Amazon. So what I like about Amazon is it's pretty readily available to all kinds of countries all over. Some of the products are the same, some are a little bit different. Price may vary, but I only paid, it was originally, it got up to a pretty high mark. So supply and demand, things do go up on Amazon, I've noticed that. So I think it was $38 or something like that, but they had a sale price of, they had like a little coupon discount thing. So I think it brought it down to like 30 something or 30 something bucks, and then plus taxes on top of that. So remember, you always have to pay taxes. It's all different, so there's no point telling me my tax thing, because your area might be totally different. So really it's around 30 something bucks, depending. Hopefully you're lucky and you get a little coupon discount like I did to save a few bucks. It was at its lowest point that it's been in the last 30 days. So that was cool. So I went ahead and jumped on it. I know there's quite a few different ones, but really, at least the ones sold on Amazon are very similar to this style. I figure the best way to thing is just to do an unboxing. I want to do a test in the tub, but honestly, the tub test for something this big and the how it has to have enough distance to get that movement going, it's not the best idea. I'm going to be honest with you guys. So I'm either going to find a pool, a small pond. I do have a local pond that I may do, probably, to be honest with you, is where I'm probably going to go. But that's a separate video because it is raining and really snowing. I don't want to get the controller wet or anything like that. I'm not worried about the shark, obviously, but I don't want to damage the product because I do want to get a proper review for you guys to see if it's worth your hard-earned money. So let's go ahead and just get into the unboxing. I'll have a link for this in the description, but honestly, I would hold off until the full review is done to make sure which one is the best one, or which one would I recommend getting, because I had another one on the channel. These are different. There are different features, and they have differences, and one has better things than the other. So we'll do a full comparison, kind of like a versus, in a later video, which should be coming up in the next day or so. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing. So I like the packaging, first of all. It did come in another box. I like the size of the packaging. Doesn't look very big, but I'm sure they have the tail off of it. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, this one's untaped. So I did open it to charge it. I always do all my products. I don't want to have to wait to charge it to turn it on. So let's open that up. That's empty. Really quickly on the box, it just says 2.4 gigahertz, 360 rotate, rechargeable battery. Yes. Like that a lot. Lifelike movement, just like the other one. And in the picture, it looks like it has a light on its head. So, we'll see. Let's set this down to the side. Okay, first thing we're going to get into is the instructions. Kind of important in a sense, giving you a little bit of information about it. One's, I don't know this language, either Chinese or Japanese or Korean. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. And the other one is telling you the installation process, how do you install a battery, how to properly recharge it. You are going to need 2 AAA batteries to provide yourself. For the controller, looks like the Shark itself is rechargeable. Yes, that's how it should have been to begin with the other one. That was my only complaint about the other one. The other one's great. Just the rechargeable battery would have been nice. And you know what? I made mine rechargeable, so. But anyways, that's just how I am. So it's just telling you how to turn left, how to turn right, full speed forward, full speed back. Variable speed button right there. I'm talking about the controls and stuff like that. Not too crazy, a little bit of troubleshooting and such. Let's set that over here. Look at this, a bag of goodies. So this one claimed to come with 2 batteries. So when I initially opened it to charge it, I panicked because I looked in that bag. Whoops, I'm dropping stuff here now. I looked in the, and of course I ended up losing one of them. It's over here somewhere, I'll find it. I dropped it somewhere right around here. That's on me. But I can tell you exactly what it is because we do have one of them. So first thing I'm going to go over is the thing that I think I just lost. It's obviously in the room. I dropped it on the ground. I don't want to spend too much time looking for it while I'm doing a video. Is these little props. They're like a bluish color. You get 2 of these. So that's nice. You get a couple spare props in case you bump or wreck into something or somehow damage them or they come off. And then you lose it in the pool or the pond. I'm just going to do a quick... Oh, there it was. It was on my lap. There's the other one. There we go. 2 of them. Perfect. So I like that. In case you're in a pond or pool somewhere and you happen to lose them, well, I would recommend keeping this in a box or whatever. Drying it first, of course. And that's just a nice feature. So the other thing you get is a little handy dandy screwdriver. These are nice because you're going to need this, to access the controller screw. And then if you need to work on something, and also changing the battery and tightening the hatch that seals and keeps the water out. So this screwdriver is nice, especially if you don't have one with you. I love that touch. And then you get, with this one, 2 rechargeable batteries. Now, one of them was in the Shark, and I didn't know that, and I thought I only got one. I was kind of bummed out until I opened the Shark and I saw, behold, a rechargeable battery. These are 3.7 volt, 300 milliamp rechargeable batteries. About the size I thought would work with them really well. Honestly, I think I went with a 500 and not mine. I'm pretty sure I went with a 500. I don't think I went with a 651. I don't know. But we are actually going to review other options and stuff and mods and other things in the future. But for now, you get 2 of these. So I do like that because you get 2. So you could drive one. I mean, as soon as it's done, wait a couple minutes to cool, recharge it, drive this other one. So you kind of have more than one battery, more than one run. Especially if you have more than 1 kids or you want to yourself drive this more than once. This is awesome. So they're just basically little batteries. The cool part is you can use this like on the Air Hogs mod we did. This is the exact same connector. You can use this for other little drones, for like the Eachine 011, the F-36, Furby or whatever, or Fury B. The B-Whoop Pro I had can use this battery. So these are really handy batteries, right? Get 2 of them. And then, of course, the charger. The only bummer part, it can only charge 1 battery at once. But on the other hand, it is USB, so you can be any part of the world as long as you have a laptop, a USB little wall plug thing like for a phone. Most of them you get with it. Some new phones now don't even come with it. I don't understand that. It's the dumbest thing ever. And then it's very basic. I like the size of it. It's like a little storage drive, and it just plugs in right in the back of here. Very simple. What I like about these plugs is they have notches, so they can only go one way. So that's good. It keeps you from burning down your house or burning anything up. I'd still be watching these batteries. This is still a 1-cell LiPo. These still can burst and catch on fire. Some folks still stick them in bags. Honestly, for 1-cell, I've never had, but I recommend following the instructions to be safe. Don't leave this unattended. Don't go somewhere and then leave this plugged up charging, okay? Plus, you don't want to leave it on a charger. So the light comes on when it's charging, and it goes out when it's done. And the cool part about this is the output. This is 3.7 volts, 500 milliamps. So this will charge this relatively fast. 0.5 is like a standard for those little chargers. So the cool part is it's a 300 milliamp. It does 500 milliamps in an hour. So this will be under an hour. If this was 500 milliamp battery, it would take an hour. Being that it's below that, I'd say it'd take less than an hour. Obviously, it depends how much you drain the battery and stuff like that. They come partially charged from the factory, but I would still give it a quick charge before you go out, obviously. They don't come charged all the way from the factory. They just do it enough to keep the battery to stay, to be good, last longer periods of time when it's on the shelf. So there's the charger, you get the screwdriver, the two props like I mentioned, and then the manual. Next up is the controller. Now, honestly, looking at it, I'm not that impressed. Feeling it, I'm even less impressed and very disappointed. This is probably the only bad thing about this particular Shark. I would honestly rather get the non-rechargeable version with that controller than to get the rechargeable version with this controller. I don't know the protocols. If I could switch them, I may be able to take this apart and get this to not to stick. This button sticks really bad. You can see it just unstuck. It feels really cheap. It's like it gets stuck forward too. Look, it just feels terrible. It feels cheap. The buttons kind of stick forward and backward, which kind of affects the way it performs and like drives. I do like the fact that you have a button for low and high speed. I could appreciate that. This button is dead, dummy button. Clicking in doesn't do anything. Like I said, you only get this button. And then the off and on switch is on the back. That's not the deal breaker. I don't even care about that. And then there is a screw which I removed. That's the silliest thing because this latch does hold it just fine. Like I may have mentioned, you do need 2 AAA batteries, which is not the deal breaker either. But to be honest with you, this is really bothering me, especially it's sticking down. I've gotten $12 remote control cars with better controllers than this. Like this is 30, normally like 38 or something, like $40 with taxes and shipping. Amazon's obviously part of Amazon Prime, but it's like 40 bucks normally, and then I happen to hit a sale, and I think I got it for like 32 with taxes or something like that. I'll look and I'll put all that below. But if you can deal with it, maybe I got a bad controller that sticks, okay? So that may be the case. Other than that, if it didn't stick, it wouldn't be so bad, but the sticking just makes it terrible. I am curious if I have to open this up and kind of clean it up. Maybe it has, when it was made, quality, like the plastic has a little bit on there and it's just sticking, adjusting the spring or something. You can see it's very simple to take apart. I want to run it first before I mess with the controller and possibly break it. So that will be a later modification to make the product better. But so far, this is the only thing that I've visually seen and came across that I think is cheap or bad. So it's just this so far. I don't know about anything else. So that's kind of a bummer. Just this side sticks terribly. Like if it was as this side, a little bit bearable. This controller is like a 2. That it works and sticks. Like the other controller on the other Shark is honestly a 5 or a 6. Like, I'm just being honest with you guys. You're paying your hard-earned money. Now, granted, you might not get one that sticks, so I can't be a complete, be completely biased. Not biased, but be completely, crappy towards it. See how easy it is addressable. I'll look into it, see if it just quickly comes apart and you shave something or something's just sticking and it's done and it's a little bit better. I don't know. So we'll figure it out with time will tell, but I noticed that immediately. When I put the batteries in, I was just feeling the sticks and I immediately caught that sticking. So I was like, So that's kind of a bummer. So we'll go from there. Let's turn on this real quick, see how it lights up. Yep, lights up and flashes. That makes sense. So, okay, there's the controller. And then the main event. So I like the way it's packaged with this sleeves like these. These are actually pretty durable. I take a little bit of beating, get a nice little box to carry it in. Make sure it's dry before you put it in there because it's going to get moisture and things are going to kind of corrode and stuff. So we pull off the other sleeves and then we have the final product. The Shark. The Shark. So let's go over the Shark before I put the tail on really quickly. just go over some of it because it's kind of easier. Well, I guess we could put the tail on. It doesn't matter. So it's very easy to put together. You just line up the holes. Be careful. I cannot emphasize this enough. This tail will break easily, and if this tail breaks, this does not do good at all without the tail. It's off balance. It doesn't have that weight to kind of balance it. It doesn't have that motion in this tail. Actually helps it go a little bit faster and goes with the movement and looks realistic. Like with this tail broke, it kind of ruins the toy completely. I'm just being honest with you. So that's the number one thing. If they want to look at it or maybe play with it, hate to say it, remove this tail because it just breaks so easily and it's hard to repair. And then this is much more durable. Maybe if they play with it, whatever, I probably wouldn't, but this would be much more durable. I mean, there's probably no way really breaking this. But this will like, let me show you. These little linkages right here, like these little plastic little things right here and right there will break like so easily, it's not even funny. Like it may break from taking it off a bunch. It would take a lot of times taking it off and on for it to break probably. But I'm telling you right now, make sure you put it the right way, of course. That's just the biggest bummer. And I don't know if there's tail replacements, but this is the sauce that makes it. Like you have to have this part. So, and the first thing I noticed is the color. That's cool that they offer more than one color. I like that. You know, make it variety, make it different than the original one, which I like. So the color's nice. I have no problem with the color. Actually, this color is more realistic for a shark, honestly. And the other thing I noticed immediately is this light. I don't know why you would want a light. Maybe in the pool, if it's starting to get dark, I guess it could look cool. But this is a battery drainer. I guarantee it. Yes, it's not much. It may take 30 seconds away or a minute away. That's 30 seconds or a minute that you could have had to power the vehicle. And it does take the power away from the motors. I can tell you that right now. So I'm not saying it affects it tremendously on performance or it's going to break it or it's going to take its longevity away. It is a power drainer. I don't know if some people are going to like or dislike that because now it looks less realistic. Because part of the selling point is when you're looking down, you don't see the gaps as bad. So when you're looking down and you're watching it like swim, it looks very, very realistic. But having the light there kind of takes away from that, honestly. So I don't know how you feel. That's kind of a choice, I guess, right? So everything else is basically the same. The motors look the same with the same little props. And look at that. These props are different colors. So this is like a lighter color and this is a darker color. So there is that. So those are the props. The off and on switch looks like it has a rubber little coating thing over it to keep it from corroding and damaging. I understand that. Has little slits in the fins. I don't remember. Yep, they got those. So little slits in the fin allow water to kind of come in, make it look more realistic, kind of feed the motor and go through it. I guess that's the way it's designed. I like this fin. It looks good. And then the mechanism is the same exact thing. You have a latch right here. You lift up, pull this right out, and then you have the 4 screws that hold the battery and seals the hull. This is the most important thing. You'll see it has the same thing, where it has this little rubber ring around the plastic. That's what creates that seal. And look at that. This is hilarious. That is the same connector I put on mine. I didn't even know they sold a rechargeable version. Like when I did mine, you'll see it's quite a bit ago. I didn't even know. Of course, like a few weeks later, I kind of seen it on Amazon, or my fiance's sister showed it to me. But I didn't know that you could buy this rechargeable. I gambled to see if it could power up with rechargeable. I considered the voltage that 2 AAA batteries gives you 3 volts, and I thought a 3.7 wouldn't blow it. At least that was my train of thought. And honestly, it didn't, and it performs great with the rechargeable battery. And actually, look, what's funny is this one, they just took out the little metal piece that goes across here that makes the contact points. That's all they did. And then use this same tray. What I don't like about this design is that piece and this piece and the way the tray is in here, it limits the size battery you can put in here. That's what I don't like about their design. I removed this entire box, which gave me huge amount of room. I think I could go with the 650 milliamp in here. I think I've actually done that before. Not 100% sure on it. I can't remember exactly, but the funny part is, like I said, it's the same connector here. Like, I know I'm going to do a separate comparison video, but, oh man, those don't look too hot. I may have, that's another thing you got to consider. You got to consider that, make sure you have the right screwdriver, and that you're careful, whoops, not to strip these screws. I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, it is very, very easy. And then once you strip these, and you can't properly tighten this, oh, man, that one is just... Now, could you replace the screws? Yes. Let me see one thing. I'm going to have to get another screwdriver. It's right over here, of course. Everything is in this room, so I don't have to go anywhere for it. The handy daddy stripper, probably how I put this in here like a schmuck. Being the schmuck that I am. So please use the give a screwdriver. The head is good on it. Find one similar and just use those. Do not, I repeat, do not use a power thing like I did. That's why I think that they're in a state they're in. I was just lazy. And then you want to, when you tighten it, you want to do a crisscross pattern. I can't emphasize that enough. See the rubber ring? It's the same thing in this one, right? That's where my other battery went. Look how big that battery is. Jeez, oh Pete. I left it in this shark. I was looking everywhere for this battery. So you can see, I was not lying. Probably shouldn't have left that in there. Definitely should not have left that in there. I'm going to put it on charger immediately. That's the same wire. So what they did is, I had the blue thing somewhere, as they used that little hole right there. Whoop, stuck it right through. I don't know if it came with that hole, but you can see the board. It doesn't hurt the board. Be careful. There are little chiplets, and you can pull these wires. It's possible, but just be careful with it. But mine works just fine. I love it. And this was like one of my favorite toys. Like, it's so simple. I shouldn't have done this. I'm going to have to revert this. This originally, the antenna originally goes through the fin, just like this one. And I pulled it out thinking I'm going to get better range. Well, that took away from it looking better, in my opinion. So I may revert that. I don't know. I'm going to test that. See, there's a lot to modding. So there's a lot of tests on tons of stuff we can do. So we're not going to get into that. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. That's where my other battery went. I've actually been looking for this battery. Let me set this to the side, because this is part of the video. It is, so just to show you really quickly why I did it the way I did. So when I removed, so this is your standard, excuse me, this is your standard hull inside of it. And these 300s, put this down here, these 300s are not bad batteries, right? I love this battery. I can use it for everything. It's just big enough. Like, by the time you stuff the 300 in there in that little clip, that's all the room you have. Like, there's no way. Let's even see. This is a 500. Let's see. You might be able to get away with this. Please, for the viewers' sakes, like, if they buy this, I want you guys to really be able to use it. Oh my god. I really don't like what I have to do to get this in here. Like, it is. That is a 500. There goes your limit right there. You should be able to connect that and lay that in there. 500 is the max, and that's really, really tight. You got to be careful not to damage this battery, which I almost like folded in half. Got to watch that. There's chemicals and stuff in here. This 500 is as big as you're going to fit. Now watch this 650 just to show you. 650? It's not so much the width as it is. Yeah. That's not going to happen. No. Now, of course, if you remove the box like you did on mine, then you can fit a 650. And to be honest with you, let me see again. I can't remember how much room. You have enough room for the cable up there. That's a 650. And honestly, you can lay the cable on top of here too. See it like it goes down. Let me move this out of the way. You see what I'm saying? Like it goes down in there. So you could lay the cable on top if you don't want to smush it in there. So yes, that's why I like. Here's the board. Really quickly. See, I soldered it. Then I put hot glue to keep me from pulling on this wire and pulling the solders off. All of that does is strengthen the board. That's all I basically did is strengthen it, in my opinion. So let's set that to the side. So I've been looking everywhere for this 650 milliamp battery because I was going to create parallel to do two 650 gates to make a 2-cell with obviously with the connector. I wasn't going to touch these batteries. With the connector, that way for my boat I had a 650 milliamp battery. But I don't know if I'm still going to do that. But it's nice that I found it. So back to the video. We'll talk more about batteries and stuff later. Back to the video. So there it is. Connect it. So I have to be completely honest with you guys. There's one thing I did right off the bat that really bothered me. So with every product I get, I immediately remove it from the box, charge it, and make sure it works. That is my biggest thing. I'm not going to put in my hard-earned money in this because I'm really not making much of anything, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do this because I love the hobby and I want to share it with you guys. And I do my best. I'm starting to get there, subscribers and numbers, like views, watch videos, skip the ad, whatever. So this is how it fits in here. Look at that. That's beautiful. It fits fine, right? You just simply remember the shape of it. See how this is shaped? You put it in that shape. See how it follows that shape? You just drop it in there. One of the most important things is using a proper screwdriver, not stripping it, not electric. Use the hand one. And you want to tighten in a crisscross pattern. That'll evenly tighten the lid on there. It'll make it waterproof. And it'll keep water from getting in there. So you want to tighten in a crisscross pattern. So what I did, I don't have to get too tight. I'm just going to get it enough to hold the lid on there. Obviously, I'm not going to stick it in water, right? There, just enough to hold the lid on. It's plugged up. Okay, let's throw this on here just for argument's sake, right? And then here's the controller. So we're going to turn on the controller. Controller's on. And we're going to turn on the shark. Look. I like. Why mine works is, let me show you. Right there. See that little tiny hole? And this little tiny hole. There are 2 contact points for water. I absolutely hate those. They can affect whether this works correctly or not. It has the same 2 contact points right there. They started, I don't know if you can look in there, but if you look in there, hopefully you can see, they started to get corroded. So with corrosion, that can affect whether this thing works or not properly, and it can cut the power to it. So let me tell you my experience really quickly. I took this shark, recharged the battery fully, stuck it in the water, turned on the controller. So I know the reverse gets stuck. And I messed with the controller, you can tell. Filled my tub with water. I knew it would not be a good video showing how it performs because the tub is not that big and it would immediately hit the walls and it couldn't turn it by the time it got any kind of motion whipping the tail, you'd already be at the end of the tub. So that video would be silly, right? Like, yeah, I understand the other one did okay and, you know, lots of people see it and it showed the product. You can just check that video out. This is basically the same thing, right? But what bothered me is when I stuck it in the water and I gave it forward, the light would get really, really dim. And I'm like, why? Like, look. Okay, let's change its rates. Like, it may flash a second, but it never got dim. So what was happening was the connection, the contact points, is kind of like off and on switch, but it has power going through it. It's like taking the wires of the motor and relying on the 2 contact points to make that connection is what I felt like. So the light would get extremely dim, it would flicker, it would not work right. When I give it power, it would flicker and get dim. And that just drove me nuts. I knew exactly what it was, and I immediately disabled it. The easiest way to do it, and I'm going to do a video on this because I don't want you guys damaging your shark. I'm going to do a detailed video and try to be better about it. Basically, there's no cutting, there's no glue, there's no soldering, there's no tape, there's nothing. I recommend it for both of these products. I did it the harder way here, but I realized the easier way. All it is 2 little metal things with a screw on each side holding it into the plastic. All I did is unscrew one of the screws, unscrew the other one, took the 2 metal things, they have loops, put them on top of each other, took the screw, put them right through like how they're normally mounted, just put them both to one side with one screw, screwed all the way down on top of it, pushing the metal contact points, smashing them against each other, making a permanent connection. Really, really tight. That is all I did. But I'm going to do a video because they're small little wires. And it's not hard to take this apart, okay? You don't have to mess with the motors. You don't have to mess with the circuit board. All you basically have to do is 1, 2, 3 screws. Possibly for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be certain. And this just lifts apart. And then you unscrew the contact points. Unscrew both sides, take the wires, move it to either vice versa side, doesn't matter. But I will do a detailed video. That was the first thing I did, and that was the most important. Probably a second, not the most important, because this I kind of deal with, the sticking of it. But that was the most important. I won't even consider this a mod. I can consider this a fix. Because it makes it so much better, makes it to where the light doesn't cut out on you. Like, it was getting dim, it was kind of flickering out, like, it was not making a good connection. And honestly, this tiny little motor, look at the blades, like, they don't stick out. My finger is literally on the blades on that. What is that going to do? Like, really? Maybe your hair will get caught up in it if you have long hair. That is all I see, and then it'll burn the motor up and damage the product. That is it. Like, what are you going to... Like, what are you going to hurt? Or, heaven forbid, the contact point gets corroded or something, and you're out there in a pond or somewhere, and it quits working on you. You're screwed. Unless you have a recovery boat or something else to reach it, it's going to stay there. Same thing in a swimming pool. So, well, obviously, you get in a swimming pool and get it, but... I just didn't understand the benefit of that. Maybe you can leave it all plugged in. Well, no, you have an off and on switch here. Like, all you have to do is cut it off. I recommend taking this off and unscrewing it and disconnecting that. I recommend that because it is a drain on your battery. It might not seem like it's on, but it will still slowly trickle drain your battery. So I really recommend at least unplugging it. You can leave a battery in there and then leaving them loose. That is what I had to absolutely tell you guys. So far, what I could tell, same motors, same size. The only reason the other one's a little bit shorter is because the tail's gotten broken down. You can see the hot glue and stuff. The minute you break that tail, that thing does not swim correctly anymore. I hate to say that. Like, you guys have to watch the tail. It swims extremely realistic and cool. It is incredible. Like, I love this product. But what I found between the 2 brands is each has like pluses and each has gains. So I'm going to tell you real quickly the pluses and cons, and then we'll do a full comparison against the blue one. I feel like a separate video because there's so much to touch on. So I personally don't like the light. Some folks may. That's a preference. That's not a pro or a con. And to be honest with you, the pro would be the lights. You'd be able to see it when it's a little bit darker, like a pond or something. The con is it has a little bit of a drain. The length and everything else is the same. A pro is the color is different, so it's kind of unique. The motors seem to be the same size. Pros that they give you extra props. Pros that it is rechargeable from the factory. No soldering required. I like that a lot. Very simple. They give you the screwdriver and the charger and an instruction manual. More expensive than what I can tell than the original version. I guess you are getting 2 rechargeable batteries, but I think this should be $30 no matter what. In my opinion, it should not be a penny over $30, in my opinion. What else? And the contact points. Don't even know why they do that. Sometimes with those little boats, I can see maybe those props are a little bigger and it got a little power to them, but I don't see how this would cut your finger. Like, I don't know how you get it in your eye. Like, I could see the big props like on a drone or something. Okay, I understand that. But they don't have contact points. But, you know what I mean? They have safety, other safety protocol. So, and guards as well. So honestly, I just don't see the point of those contact points. So I immediately, like, legitimate. And the cool part is you can unscrew that screw, put the contact point back on the other side. Set, like, you know, take one off, put it back on the other side, put the screw. I put the other screw back in there so I wouldn't lose it. And then just tighten them both down, you know, separate them, tighten them both down, and it's back to how it was. I like mods that can be returned to the original. I love that. I don't like something that's going to screw it up and then never be right again. I try not to do that, guys. And I try to experiment and test things on my stuff before it ever reaches your products. As I know how hard it is to earn money, especially with this crazy times. So, guys, all in all, it's basically the same thing. Rechargeable compared to at least the version I have. I'm sure there's versions I have that are rechargeable that look like mine, right? Let's just be honest. So I saw quite a few different companies and quite a few different versions, different controllers, different lots of stuff. 1 battery, 2 battery, lights, no lights. Okay, so there's quite a few variants, okay? I don't know about the other variants. I'm just going to review these. So far, I like it. Basically performs the same thing as the other. I like the low and high speed. I don't remember if the other one has that. But definitely I recommend using the high speed. The battery does drain a little bit. We'll see how much. We'll take the same battery and connect to both charts and see if one can run longer than the other, or if one's faster than the other with the low high speed button. We'll do all those amazing tests, right? We'll do every test you can think of, a proper comparison, everything. And then we'll do its true maiden voyage. First time in the water, I stuck it in the tub, but that doesn't count. It barely got to go anywhere. In a pond, hopefully a pool would be better because visually you would clearly see the shark and then you see the fin sticking out. I had a couple other ideas and mods that I'm going to share with you guys. They're going to be super crazy. I can't really tell you because this thing's going to be really cool, guys. I really recommend either one of these. These mods will be for both of them, so don't worry about which version you got. We will obviously try to address the sticky button and the controller in another video. I'm not going to strenuously do a bunch of mod videos. I'm going to do one mod video for all of them, all of the possible mods for both. And then we're going to do a solid comparison video, testing and showing the differences. And then a solid testing video between the two. And then this will get its own run video because it never had one. So tons of stuff to come. But like I said, I'm going to consolidate it into, like, you know, one mod video for all the sharks, one comparison video against each other, and then it's maiden video. That is it. So I'm not going to try to stretch it out too much. I'm going to get to the point, guys. I'm going to try to hopefully keep it below 30 minutes, but a few things needed to be addressed and explained. And I'm just excited. It's basically, it will have the same motion as the other one. Should be roughly about the same speed, unless there's something different I don't know about in here. It should be similar. There is this draining on it that create a little bit of drag. I mean, there's little things, and we'll see the differences and the comparison, right? So stay tuned for that. As of right now, the controller bugged me. It's bearable, it's doable. The sticking thing, you just push it and it gets unstuck. The prong thing, you just take a screw, unscrew it, take the other one, put it next to it, screw it in. I mean, it's nothing major or crazy. And I'm going to do a video for that. In the mod video, is going to have all the mods for this. Select the ones you want to do. Don't do the ones you don't. You don't want to touch it all, that's fine. But at least recommend doing the contact mod, which will be very simple. All you'll need is the provided screwdriver. That is it for that particular mod. So stay tuned, guys. That's going to be a good video. I like it. I like it a lot. It's like, dun, dun. Dude, they nailed the simulation. Like the way this thing swims, they nailed it. Straight up nailed it. So, guys, this is a lot of fun. A viewer actually commented, like, black one or something. I didn't understand what he meant. I guess he meant this one. It's more like a charcoal gray or grayish color to me, at least to my eyes. It does have shark, what's it say? Shark mechanical? Shark mechanical. I wonder if you can remove that. But yeah, so attitude, the other one kind of looked more realistic, but this color is kind of more realistic as well too. So I don't know, we'll see. Let me see something else on the tail. Yep, it has the same everything. Yep. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. Which one's faster? Which one's better? All that, the comparison is going to touch on everything. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So stay tuned for that, guys. So that's going to do it for this one. The first one that's going to be coming up is the first test video because I have to test it before I can mod it. Really mod it. So we're going to probably go up to the pond. Today it's raining. I would love to do it today for you guys, but it's raining. So we're going to go up to the pond. We're going to get a recovery boat. That big red boat, we'll charge it, have it as a recovery boat to kind of push this. Maybe bring like a coat hanger, some tape, and maybe like a fish net to like catch it. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool. Like chasing this shark down with that boat and having like a fish net with a little metal thing. Like, you know how the fish thing is metal and you can twist it? It's kind of basically a coat hanger with a little net. Get like a bigger one that can net this. That'd be hilarious. Or like a coat hanger with a hook and like hook him somewhere like right here and lift him up. That would be crazy. I don't want this to come off though. That's the only thing. You do not want to miss this, lose this tail. That's why you want the water to be flat and calm. Not like the other day when I drove the boat. I recommend checking that video out as well. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be fun. So stay tuned for the first maiden video. Stay tuned for the full complete modding list on this. I have some crazy ones coming up. And then stay tuned for the full comparison against each other. Which one should you go with? So that should be coming as well. So as always, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you to all the new subscribers. I do appreciate, and old, you're appreciated as well. Appreciate everyone. Leave a comment if you have any questions, comments, anything like that about cars, planes, whatever's on the channel or anything I can help you guys with. I'm more than happy to respond as long as it's respectable and it's nothing crazy. If it's something crazy, I just delete it. I just don't deal with it. Just because I want my nephew and family and other members to be able to go on this channel freely and not have to worry about any of that. So that's why it's important to me, because I like my family. This is a family hobby. I feel like everyone should participate. It's a lot of fun for it. It's all about having fun in the end, right? So that I do plan on doing a giveaway. I hinted in a previous video. I just couldn't figure out what I was going to do and what. I have tons of products coming, and after reviews are done, I'm going to have tons of products. So I may do some of those giveaways. I may just buy new ones and just give the new ones away. I'm not 100% sure. There's going to be some kind of giveaway. I'd say right around tax time. So I'd say I wanted to do it by the end of January, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So in the month of February will be the giveaway. I'll probably announce it February 1st. I'll go ahead and announce it February 1st, and it'll be shipped out by February 28th, or if it's a leap year, I don't know what it is. But I promise you guys I'll announce the winner and ship it out by the end of the month. So I'm going to try to announce it the first. That way everyone can enter and get in on it. And I'm excited for that. And then we'll go from there. So far, it's cool. It's basically the same thing, guys. It's probably going to perform just like the other one, honestly, but with the light and stuff like that. So, you know, check that video out as well. So thanks for watching, guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.